Welcome to the next video in the series and building your Cutco business. And again, I want to say congratulations on receiving this video. You're getting this because someone believes in you. Your manager sees the potential. And also, this is not a video for a brand new representative. This is a video with someone who we know gets it. We know wants to be here. We know wants to be successful. And in my opinion, what I'm about to cover is the most important key to really thriving in this business. So if you've seen my recommendations video, I talk about the success equation, and it's true regardless of the topic. So I'll share it with you here. A lot of people, when they start this job, they think sales equals income. And that is true, but you can only sell to someone if you have a demo. So demos equal sales equals income. And you can only do a demo with someone if you have a lead. So really it's leads equals demos equals sales equals income. So everything you do is really about generating more leads, because the more leads you have to see, the better you're going to do at the position, and the easier it's going to be to hit your appointment goal. And the way you get good at this job is just doing lots of presentations. So if you're getting this video, you're probably in a situation where you feel like you might be running low on people, or you would wish you had more people to call. That's great. I want to start by saying that your list size doesn't matter. Your list size doesn't matter if your demos are booked. Okay, if you have 0 people to call, but you've got 10 appointments this week, and you know how to properly ask for leads, you're going to turn that into 100+ recommendations and be set. So if you're not confident in that, we do have a recommendations video as well that I would highly, highly recommend before your next appointment. But the fact is, I don't care how many demos you've done, you still have people you can see. The reason I know that is because I've been doing this for 14 years. I'm in the Cutco Hall of Fame, and I still have people that I know well that I never did demos for. In some cases, it was because I started 14 years ago because there was no virtual demo. And even 4 or 5 years after that, when the virtual demo became a thing, I was a manager and just never reached out to them. Various reasons. But, if I still have people I can see, I know for sure you haven't seen a fraction of who you're able to see. So the way I would think about seeing customers is in gears. And as far as gears, first gear, people you know really well, that's who you started with. Second gear are different networks, people you kind of sort of know. Third gear, the chicken list and social media. Fourth gear are referrals. If you've been doing this job less than a month and you've done less than 40 presentations, you're not ready to see referrals yet. And even if you are ready, you don't need to see referrals yet. You want to treat referrals like money and like income. And there's some people out there, they really struggle with money and they live paycheck to paycheck. And the reason they do that is because every time they get paid, they spend it, and therefore they live paycheck to paycheck and never have any money. The people who are wealthy, well, they're doing 2 things at all times. They're always looking for new ways to generate income. And also they save first and they only spend what they need to. And that's the way you want to treat your Cutco business. Like, number one, still be on the lookout. You meet people every day, and there's people that can be great clients from you that if they don't see you, they're going to see somebody, so they might as well see you. And then number two, it doesn't make sense to call your referrals yet. If you still have people you know well, you want to stack your referrals, so that way by the time you do need to call them, you have hundreds and hundreds of them with a call, and you're not worried about booking up your schedule. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the gears to building a real prospect list. So I talked about the keys to having your schedule booked. So first thing I would say is this week's schedule booked? If it is, awesome. If it's not, well, do you have people to call? If it is, great, call them. Watch this video later, book your demos. If it's not, well, number 3, you need to look up more numbers. So going through the gears, the first gear is close family and friends, probably a lot of the people you saw your first weekend on the job. And when you saw these people, they gave you referrals. And, at least I hope they did, right? But they gave you referrals. But, depending on how good you were at asking, and honestly, what they might have thought of the job then versus what they do now that you've had some success, was probably different. So you can go back to those people. And what I would do right now is pause this video, and I would make a list of any adult that you're close with that you could have this conversation that we're about to have. So you could sit down with them and just be real and say, hey, Uncle Jeff, hey, Mom, hey, Coach Ledbetter, hey, whoever, I'm really enjoying this job. I really want to crush this job. In order to do that, I want to make sure I have a lot of people to call. So what I'd love to do is sit down with you and really build a list of as many people as possible. Pause the video, make a list of people that you can have that conversation with, and then have that conversation. I know for my mom, when I did that, she just gave me her phone, and I made a deal with her. I said, look, the people I don't know, I'm not going to write down their names and numbers, but all the people I do know, I'm going to write down their names and numbers. And if there's anyone that I don't know that you think I should, make sure to tell me. I was able to go through my mom's phone and just from that get about 30, 40 leads, which ended up being really, really crucial for me because they were people from all over the town that really spread out my recommendations. A couple other things I would think about, coworkers, old friends, like people that have moved away that you're close with. With the virtual demo, it's such a game changer because you can see people live anywhere. They just have to have they have to eat food and they have to have Wi-Fi, right? So year one, there's probably some value there. Year two are networks. So what I would look at, I would write these things down. I would write down social media. How many connections do you have on social media? So whatever your biggest, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever, how many connections do you have? How many of those people have you done appointments with, either them or their parents? So minus that number, that's how many you have left that you could see. And I get that if you have 1,000 Instagram followers, you probably don't know all of them super well. But if you have 1,000 and you've done 10, there's 990 left. I mean, even if you can only see 10% of those people, even if you only really know 10% of them well enough to ask their parents for a demo, still 99 new leads. So first thing is social media. How many do you have? How many have you shown? How many could you potentially see? Next thing I would do is church. How many people in your congregation? How many people have you shown from your congregation? How many more people could you see? Next thing I would do is I would list any club or organization you were a part of in high school or you're a part of now. How many people in the club? How many people have I seen? How many could I see? How many people are on the sports team? How many have I seen? How many could I see? Take a moment, pause the video, list out any club or organization you've been a part of, and do that exercise. So number two is networks. And then number three is your chicken list. If you think about it, eventually you're going to see people who you refer to that you don't know at all. So if you can see people you don't know at all just because you refer to them, anyone you have a connection with, you can see them. Even if it's a slight connection from a long, long time ago, you can reach out to them and at least ask. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And if we were in person right now, I would just ask you a question. I would say, what's the worst that could happen? Think about it. If you're like most people, your answer would probably be, well, they say no. Here's the deal. That's not the worst that can happen. Doesn't matter. You didn't have the appointment before you called them. You didn't have it after. You didn't lose anything. The worst that could happen is you don't call them. And either A, they go the rest of their life with crappy knives and they just get by. Or B, someone else sees them, does a demo, sells them a set. We have representatives on the team. The people had done appointments for their mom before they started and sold them ultimate sets, sold them homemakers, sold them signature sets, sold them cookware, sold them flatware. So we're really good at what we do. Every mom in America is eventually going to see a Cutco demo. If they're going to see it from somebody, it may as well be from you. So when you're new, I get it. You're nervous, but think about the demos you've done. Do you honestly feel that there's anyone that after the demo thought less of you because of it? The answer is no. Matter of fact, the answer is probably actually they thought more and they enjoyed the interaction. So call them. And then fourth gear, of course, are your referrals. And yes, we want to show them Cutco, but for me, the longer I work here, the more I love the product. And if I love it enough where I want someone I don't know to have it, I definitely want every person I know to at least know that it exists. You know, to at least know that they've got it, they've got options for something bigger and better. Because I've thought about this a lot, and I'm really talented. I've gotten job offers throughout the years, but one of the biggest reasons I've stayed with Cutco is the person I'm becoming in the process and the things I'm learning. But number two is the wonderful product. There's not very many companies where a representative can say to a client, hey, if you give me an hour or less, I can show you how to make every day for the rest of your life a little bit better. Because they do it. They're using knives every single day. And it's a lot more enjoyable when they have something good. It's like it's a lot more enjoyable anytime you have something quality versus something crappy. And the best part about Cutco is the forever guarantee. I mean, they get it. They use their set daily for 20, 30, 50 years. Eventually they can't cook that more, anymore. Maybe they pass away. Well, their knives, they don't get donated. They get passed down. And then their kids use them for 20, 30, 50 years. Same quality, same guarantee, same thing, same everything, except now it has sentimental value because they're remembering what it was like when their parents used it. They use it for decades and decades, and they're telling stories about how this was, this was grandma's knives. These were grandpa's knives. Well, and then when they, when they pass away, they pass it down, and it just keeps going and going. So because of that, take pride in what you do. Take pride in the person you're becoming working at this job. Take pride in this amazing product, and take pride that you get paid based on introducing it to people. The more people you have to call, the more demos you're going to do, the better you're going to do with the job. Take this seriously, because I can promise you, if you do, you will thank yourself and you will thrive here. Hope you have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you in person soon if that's an option. And if not, I just want you to know that I appreciate your time investing in yourself for this video, and someone believes in you, which is why they sent you this. So have a wonderful day. I will talk to you in the next video.